We should separate more often.
Oh, bite your tongue.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 underrated TV couples who don't get enough credit. Number 10. Regina Mills and Robin Hood, Once Upon a Time. Regina started off as a hated character. She is the evil queen after all. But as more of her backstory is revealed, the character quickly became beloved, more than partly due to her beautiful romance with Robin. The two may have disliked each other at first, but Regina quickly warmed to the thief, and Robin was never afraid of her darker impulses. They changed each other for the better, and we're glad that they got some version of a happy ending.
Our story was so short.
Doesn't make it any less epic.
Number 9. Francis II of France and Mary Queen of Scots, Reign. Mary and Francis were childhood friends who were betrothed from a young age, and while things didn't start out perfectly between the two, they eventually grew to love each other, choosing one another time and time again.
It's you. It's always been you.
There were certainly other relationships that got in the way of their love. Francis was with another woman at the beginning of the series, and Mary's relationship with Bash certainly had its moments. And let's not forget Francis's mother's attempts to have Mary killed. But whatever was thrown at these two, they always came back to each other in the end. Number 8. Shawn Hunter and Angela Moore, Boy Meets World. There weren't too many interracial couples on television in the 1990s, but Shawn and Angela served as a great example of how to do it right.
No one understands this but us.
Quiet.
The two were never singled out by writers because of the interracial quality of their relationship, but were treated just like any other couple. They faced real issues, some born out of their differences, but they were able to solve them by focusing on their similarities and forging a real deep connection. They quickly became a fan favorite and are still beloved today. Number 7. Van Montgomery and Cheyenne Hart, Reba.
I love your daughter, and I'm not staying away no matter what you or my parents say.
While their relationship was never easy, Van and Cheyenne always seemed to pull through the hardest parts together. Whether it was Cheyenne supporting Van when his football hopes went down the drain, or Van literally carrying Cheyenne across the graduation stage as she went into labor, they always had each other's backs. Hey, being a newlywed and living with your mom, or mother-in-law in Van's case, can't be easy, but these two made it seem fun, and we always appreciated their silliness. Number 6. Xiomara Zo Gloriana Villanueva and Rogelio de la Vega, Jane the Virgin.
You are what I've been looking for.
These two prove building a relationship takes time. And one daughter, a miracle pregnancy, and a drunken Vegas wedding later, they finally made it work. Things definitely start off rocky. Xiomara is still hurt from how Rogelio reacted to her pregnancy, and Rogelio is hurt that Xiomara kept Jane a secret for all those years. And even when they start to rebuild that trust, the timing wasn't always right. But because this is a telenovela, they found their way to each other eventually with all the romance and dramatics we could ask for. Number 5. Raymond Holt and Kevin Costner, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We didn't get to meet Kevin until a little ways into the first season at Holt's birthday party, and he certainly comes off a little cold at first.
So glad you could make it. Ah, and look, he brought us some wine.
When it's revealed Kevin didn't want the squad to come over to their house because he didn't want anyone to belittle Holt for his sexuality, everything about their relationship clicks into place. It's built on a sense of protectiveness and honesty. And throughout the rest of the series, it's clear how much these two love each other. Plus, they have a dog named Cheddar. You can't get cuter than that. Number 4. Emily and Richard Gilmore, Gilmore Girls. Are Emily and Richard Gilmore rich, snobby, and more than a little uppity? Sure. But they were also one of the most consistent and equal partnerships on the show.
I did not sign on to your dying, and it is not going to happen. Not tonight, not for a very long time.
That's part of what made their temporary separation so hard to stomach. You can't convince us they could just lose that sense of respect after all those years. But luckily for us, they eventually reconciled, and even had a vow renewal, proving what we knew all along: they are perfect. Number 3. Jason Mendoza and Janet, The Good Place. At first glance, it doesn't seem like these two will have that much in common. While Janet is an all-knowing robot, Jason is, to be frank, pretty dumb. We love him, but it must be said, Dumbness aside, what truly binds these two is their inherent niceness. And when you get married before you even start dating, well, you know it's real. Number 2. Phoebe Buffay and Mike Hannigan. Friends. Phoebe was far and away one of the best parts of this 90s sitcom. And honestly, her relationships were the most fun to watch too. Mike and Phoebe's relationship felt fresh and exciting. Mike accepted all of Phoebe's strange quirks without question. He defended her against his stuck-up family, and was willing to get in a gallant, albeit strange, finger-wagging battle for her heart.
Can you please just be Mike Hannigan again?
Only if you'll be Phoebe Buffay.
Number 1. Winston Bishop and Ally Nelson. New Girl. All of the roommates definitely have strong personalities, but Winston's always been a bit of an odd duck. And while we love his strange shenanigans, it hasn't always been easy for him to find a girl who does too. Enter Ally, his partner at the LAPD. While she initially avoids a romance, they are partners after all, they eventually start dating, get married, and have children. 5 to be exact. Ally accepts Winston in all his weird glory, and he obviously adores her. A match made in heaven.
I love you, you maniac.
You love me.